I think I needed 121 yards to get 1,000. And I was going to get $100,000. That was $100,000 was a lot of money back. It still is, but it was really, really, really a lot of money back then because considering I was only making like $300,000. And I remember I caught 6 for $1.15 and 2 touchdowns. And then I looked at the stat sheet and I had $9.95. And I was like, God dang. Because on the plane, we always sat across from each other.
Right.
So I'm sitting on this side in the aisle. You sitting on that side in the aisle. And you're like, T, besides we lost the game, what happened? I said, man, if I got 1,000 yards, I'd have got $100,000. I only needed 5 yards. And you looked at me, you said, don't ever let that happen again. I don't care if you need 25 yards. You tell me, I'll get you the ball. And then we go back out there the following week, you throw me 13 for $1.56. I said, I needed 13 for $1.56 last week. But what type of toll did that take on at home? Did that take a toll on home, losing like that? Knowing, and this is what I tell people, T. I say the harder you work for something, and when it doesn't come to fruition, the more it hurts.
Yeah.
I said, if you work for, I don't care what it is, if you work for something really hard, and when it doesn't pan out, it hurts like hell. Anybody that tells you it doesn't, they're not working hard enough, or it doesn't mean enough to them.
Exactly. And I think that, it does, the disappointment. And as you know, the older you get,
Yes.
My dad always said, don't ever let winning be a relief and losing be a tragedy.
Oh,
right?
Yes.
And the older you get, that's kind of, that's when you know you're kind of getting close to the end, because now all of a sudden you really don't get the joy, because football's hard enough.
Yes.
That if you don't enjoy the victories as much as you hate the losses, it doesn't balance out. It gets lopsided and makes it that much tougher. Mm-hmm. But, I think that, and I had a thought right there on what you had just said as far as, working hard. The thing that I learned there, though, was, because I know going in those first 3 Super Bowls that I tried harder each time.
Right.
Right? And one thing I learned is the bigger the game, you gotta calm yourself down and relax yourself to where you're saying, okay, I'm going to go out and play the best game I've ever played. I got to play great. I got to do this. I got to do that. I got to do this. Which all it does is add more pressure to you. Just like going into Super Bowl 32. It's like, all right, don't think about the outcome.
Right.
Forget about the outcome. Take it one play at a time. Don't think about it. And don't watch TV. Stay out of all the hoopla. Right?
Yeah.
And just go play a football game.
Right.
And don't think about it being the Super Bowl or anything else to where you're not putting that much more pressure on you. Because by the time I got to San Francisco in that third one, I'm sitting there going, I'm going to have to win this by myself.
Right.
Right? Which is the worst thing you can do. And all I did, and I played terrible, right? Mm-hmm. So going into that Super Bowl 30, the Green Bay game was the fact that, okay, let's just go concentrate on one play. Don't even think about it, what it would feel like to be world champion. Right? Don't let that enter your mind. Go out and play a football game and everything else will fall in line. And so that was kind of the, jumping ahead a little bit, but that's what my thought process was going into the Green Bay game. And, I played better there, and we were able to win the football game.
But it got so bad after those losses that they had police behind it because you started getting death threats. I mean, they had police standing behind you just to make sure ain't nobody get you at the game.
Well, I mean, it's like in the first Super Bowl we lost, we had like 500,000 people at the parade, and the last one we lost, there was like 20,000 people.
But in the Green Bay, the one that we won, did you think we could lose? Because maybe it was just naivete, but I didn't think we could lose. I didn't think Green Bay could beat us.
I didn't either, especially with the game plan that we had. Right?
Yes.
And Mike and Gary did such a great job with that game plan. If you remember, we split you out the whole game.
Yes.
To get Leroy Butler out of the
box.
Because Leroy Butler was playing strong safety, and he would mess. You never knew where he was going to be. He'd mess up the running game. He'd mess everything up. And that's where I think Gary and Mike did such a fantastic job putting him outside. Plus, they knew how good they were in the secondary. They had 2 great corners and Robinson at free safety, that they were that good that, we were going to have to run the football.
Right.
And by spreading everybody out, getting you out, getting Leroy Butler out of the box so he couldn't screw things up. Mm-hmm. And then TD just, went crazy for us. And
I often ask, I said, man, I wonder how many yards he would have had he not missed the entire second quarter.
Yeah.
Because he had 157 in 3 quarters.
Right.
He might have broke Timmy Smith's record.
No question. No question. Because he was, and that's the thing is, and I remember too, Green Bay put in the extra guy they put down was a D lineman.
Yes.
Right? Mm-hmm. and so our guys up front, Nalen, Schlereth, Zimmerman, Habib, and Tony Jones. I mean, they absolutely wore them out.
Did you get sacked that game? I don't think you got.
I don't think so. We didn't throw it. We threw it like 23, 24 times, right? But No, they just wore him out. I remember Gilbert Brown.
Big Gilbert on one knee. Oh, he's on the sideline. Look at it.
I know. I remember that game too. I remember late in the game, it's like we're going in to score our last touchdown.
Yes.
And Green Bay had called timeout. And I went to the sideline and I said, because we're on the 1 yard line.
Yeah.
So, and they had a couple timeouts left. So I went and I said, Mike, let me nosedive. Let me sneak it to the half-yard line.
Right.
Make them use another timeout because they're not going to stop us.
Right.
Right? Mm-hmm. And then Coop said, I don't think we got to do that. We got to score the points.
Right.
But, then that's when they talk
about, well, we let them score. Y'all hadn't stopped him all day.
I know. But they did let us score. They wanted the ball back.
They wanted the ball back because it just opened like, I was like, well, damn, we did a great job on that one. And you see Eugene Robinson, he comes down, he basically two hands touches, like, okay, they get the ball back.
Yeah.
And then I remember Greg Robinson, rest his soul. He's like, Mike, how do you want to call it? And Mike was telling him, like, just do what you always done.
Yep.
Greg was a pressure guy.
Yeah.
Greg loved to bring pressure. And I remember the last call, and he's on the sideline. Bomb, blow it up.
4th and 10.
Blow it up.
Oh, yeah. And that's when, because we lost Steve Atwater.
Steve knocked out their guys and one of our guys. At that point in time,
Hilliard, he knocked out Randy.
Randy Hilliard and Robert Brooks and himself.
Yeah.
Croc had pulled his hamstring, so he's out.
Right.
So we're down 3 DBs in the secondary.
Right.
And so I was like, oh, Lord. And then when I saw Greg on the sideline telling him, blow it up, I said, oh, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I was like, man, it seemed like in slow motion. It was just, like, I'm looking, okay, he's back. He throws the ball. I'm tracking the ball. And I was like, Mobley pick. But he's been dropping them all year, so I'm not surprised. I don't know why I thought he was going to catch it. And then I realized it's like, and we just erupt. And we're standing next to each other. It's like we running onto the field, man.
Oh, yeah.
That is the greatest feeling.
That was.
That is the greatest feeling.
That was the greatest win I ever had by far. The fact that it erased some of those other things. But it was just, I can still remember the feeling. And it's just.
In the second
it was hard to believe.
Yes.
It probably took me 3 days or a week to really figure out that we're world champions.
Yes.
But it was.
And then we get back to that parade and we see 1 million fans out there. It's like.
Yeah.
It was unbelievable.
Special time.
But the year before, like you said, we're 13-3. I mean, we're cruising. We're crushing everybody. I mean, the last game, you didn't play, I didn't play, TD didn't play. We played the Chargers. We had everything sewn up, and Mike was like, hey, we just going to take this time. Don't even worry about it, blah, blah, blah. And then we get Jags. They had just been a team. They just came into the league in 95.
Right.
Like, oh, yeah, we got these bums.
Yeah.
And we got out to I remember we got out to a 12-0 lead. Yeah. We go for 2. You split out wide left. We throw the slant, and I don't open up far enough. And I was like, damn. So it's 12-0 instead of 14-0. And then the next 3 quarters, it was like a dream. It was like a nightmare.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, everything. We got the perfect play call on the shallow cross. I mean, the guy gets picked, you throw it, and in the process of me pulling it in, I punch it out with my knee.
Yeah. It was one of those days, right? I mean, you have those days, and Brunell and the Jags played pretty well. Good. They played really well. Brunell threw the ball really well and put it on target. So that, though, I think was what led to the next 2 years.
Yes.
That incentive of knowing how bad that one hurt. Mm-hmm. Because I'm looking at it, too, as like those Super Bowls were bad. That one was just as bad, too.
Yes.
Because I was in my 14th year that year, right?
Yes.
And I mean that window
was really close. Yes.
So that was as big a toughest loss as I'd had counting the Super Bowls, and so.
What do you think?
It set up the next 2 years for us incentive wise. And us thinking about how good we were and start concentrating, like you just said, we got these bums, right? That's when it turned it around, and we just started concentrating on how well we were going to play, concentrate on our standards, what we had to play, and how we had to play, and so that's I still believe that you got to have those tough ones that so you don't forget that hurt that bad, you don't forget them, and it led us to those next 2 years.
What do you think we did wrong?
The Jacksonville game?
Yeah.
I think you just have those days, and it's been a while since I've seen the film on the game.
I ain't never seen it. I don't want to see it.
Yeah, but I think it's just one of those things, and that's why you got to be ready, especially in the NFL. Anybody can beat anybody on a given day.
Want to join Club Shay Shay? Become an official member by hitting that subscribe button, where you never know who's going to be joining us for drinks and conversation. Don't be late to the party because we like to do something before 2 something.